Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else on YouTube. If you're interested in what decks and dice I'm using, that's going to be below. Besides that, though, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below, same information. Thank you very much for watching, and let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aquarius? Convincing somebody to do it your way. Is that going to work? Strength card. Is that working with you or against you? That's a good question. Okay. I feel like this is more important than I really want to see it. This can be... Every sign has its up and down, right? As far as Aquarius is concerned, this is just the static energy. You know what I mean? Just, it doesn't have to be true for all Aquarians. The Leo energy can be a challenger. This can be something where these two energies don't always get along very well. In this situation, you may be dealing with somebody that you don't get along with very well. That could play a pivotal part in getting the situation moving. This energy sometimes doesn't really ask for permission. It just does what it wants, which can be helpful and can be an issue. So in relation to Aquarius, so it can go well, it can go not so well. This might be an issue in the sense of like, you want certain things to happen, you might get some of it, you might just get it unstuck, but you might not get it unstuck the way you want it to get unstuck. So this energy that's here, and whatever you've been doing here, I feel like you're trying to make something work out in a specific way for a specific reason. It's not about liking the process is what I'm getting. It's not about liking the process. Like, it's not about enjoyment of the process. It's about the outcome of the process. Okay. Yeah, because people aren't getting along. I feel like people aren't getting along, so there's certain, like, it's not about the enjoyment of it, it's about getting it to work technically correct, and then hopefully other things falling in line afterwards. But the situation isn't really progressing the way I need it to. Is that correct? There's something here where people are not getting along, and I feel like that's more of an issue than I really like. Because it's kind of like, if we can at least do the job, or like if this doesn't have to be a business situation, however it hits for you, family, romance, whatever it may be, it's kind of like I can't even get people to get along enough to do it the right way. Like, people don't want to get along. People don't want to get along. And I just feel like there's a long-standing history with that. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I feel like this is clearly important to you. For whatever reason, it's one of those things where you feel like you just got to handle it. Family, business, whatever you have going on there, it's like if it's business, it's like, well, this is my job, I have to do this. Or if it's family, like, this is family, I gotta try to make it work. I just keep seeing this mom, and like she has like 7 different family members, like maybe like brothers, sisters, kids, parents, aunts, uncles, whatever it is, several. There's several of them that like it's really important for them to all get along because this one can help out that one. And it's just like it it goes good in pieces, but like it's just, it's never smooth. It's never smooth. Is what I keep getting. Never smooth. What is going on here? Because this should be these energies are not linking up correctly, which is ironic because both of these energies are compatible with Aquarius, but they're not linking up correctly. So there's the Temperance card, which is a fire card. Can talk about Sagittarius. Aquarius can work with that energy very well. This is the Ace of Swords. This is like a great start or things moving forward in a very powerful way. Communication style, information, stuff coming in. These energies should get along, but they're not. Especially if you see the darker side with the lightning coming in here. This is how I see this coming in with these two energies. They should get along, they're just not. And because they're not, even though you can get along with them individually, that's still causing more problems. I keep getting that they don't want to get along. Am I missing something with this? Is there anything that Aquarius would have influence on that could help this work better? I know it's a general read, but like, give it a whirl, right? There's only so much you can do. You're not getting the full story. Somebody did something and they don't want to admit to it. And the other side did something to retaliate and they don't want to admit to that either. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. I get somebody did something wrong. Doesn't want to admit to it. Somebody else tried to get even doing something equally as wrong. They don't want that to come to light either. So, there's that. If that's, take it with a grain of salt. If it's happening, it's happening. If it's not, it's not. But if you're wondering why don't these people want to get along, that might be why. Because they're both making poor choices that they don't want to admit to. And they're kind of like, they're not going to open the can of worms, because if they open the can of worms on that one, then they're going to get the same happening to them. So it's kind of like a thief agreement, would you say? I'm not going to blow you in if you don't blow me in, but I don't like you anyway. One of those things. They do seem... How do they feel... What is this? I don't know why this is frustrating me, but it kind of like... I keep feeling like you have honest effort, good reason, things that make sense you're bringing forward, but it's just kind of like, why isn't this working? Because they're not telling you things. And you keep trying to work it out. And it's like they almost play along to a point, but they don't want to get along. And that's the bottom line. Even if that one part that I just mentioned doesn't really fit, the bottom line, if this situation is happening, they don't want to get along. They don't want to. You see this a lot in work situations, in my opinion, where people play nice, forward-facing, but, you know, in truth, they don't want to get along. They don't want to help the other person. They don't want the other person to get any type of benefit. In fact, a lot of times they want to, like, cause issue for the other person. So, it's the lack of honesty causing an issue here. Do you know how much, like, for the people this is going to hit with, how much of that do you already know, that they don't want to get along? You'd rather not believe it. You'd rather not believe it. Okay. That's what I'm getting. But, all right. It's very frustrating. You're trying a lot. I feel like you'd like to just walk away from it. Oh, is that why we're seeing this card come up? Maybe it's... Yeah, okay. I see this for you. You'd like to walk away with it. Or walk away from it. From, not with, but from. You don't, though. You seem to not. You'd like to. You're kind of fed up with it. How... This is hard. This is hard to bring in. Because you're not going to have any control over this. You can try to work with this energy, but it's kind of like, you know what? It's not working anyway. I don't know. I feel like one of the reasons where I'm kind of like a little bit reluctant to do this is kind of like, what if this really does make it worse? Because I feel like there's that possibility. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't anything. It's just kind of like a possibility. That's all this is a possibility. I feel like I'm worried that this could really, really cause a big issue. Like the tower could come out in this situation and we could like really have some big problems. Or I don't think the tower is really, I don't think we're going to have the tower coming forward. I don't see that really happening. I feel like that's more of a fear. But what might be more uncomfortable is that getting this energy involved might expose what's really wrong here, because this energy doesn't care. It's just kind of, once they find something out, they talk about it. Once they unearth something, they're like, oh, what's that? That doesn't smell right. Like, they'll go right for it. Like, that doesn't smell right. What is that? What's that? Why is that happening? They just put it right out there. This energy, sometimes it's kind of like, you know, they see it, they say it. Does that make sense? Like, they see it, they say it. That's just how it is. It has its benefits. It has its benefits. It has its benefits. I'm getting that this is a good idea. You decide whether you think that's right. I'm getting from this card that that's a good idea. Expose it. Things shift if you go that direction. These are curiously positive cards. Maybe I'm just jaded with this one. I don't know. That's Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and the Lover's card, but they come in like this. Both of them come in like, well, it might start to look right. It's going to take some effort. I feel like that energy makes it more difficult to not get along. That energy can be very much like, you guys don't want to work together? Well, how about you don't work here at all? So if this was a job situation, like you guys don't want to work along, you guys don't want to get along, well, how about you don't work here at all? How about that? And we just find different people. Whether it's the right decision or not, that's its own thing. But I feel like this energy makes it really difficult, like really uncomfortable for people to not put the effort. You don't want to tell me what the problem is? You're going to pretend like there's not a problem? Then you better do a better job at that. Like, I feel like it's not going to be warm and fuzzy about it. It's not going to be. Might be a little brutal. And I feel like people are trying to make better decisions after this. Like, I feel like they need to make better decisions, and I feel like they're gonna. The thing is, Aquarius can be brutal too if you want to be, but for some reason in this situation you've elected to not be, is what I keep getting. In my opinion, if Aquarius is a little bit more on the brutal side, you've chosen to for a reason. And if you've chosen not to, same thing. There's a good reason behind it. Is this how they feel about Aquarius? They feel like you could help them. They want you to help them. Especially if this energy comes in. They, I don't know why, I know. Okay. Mermaid Magic Seduction. They want you to help them. They're going to try to suck up to you. This might put you in that position to where things can start looking better. I feel like this energy is going to stick around, though. Once it gets involved, I don't think it's going to leave. So I don't know who this is in your life, but once they're involved, I don't see them taking a part-time role in this. Once they're in, they're in. That is good for you. But what? Can we get a little bit more... Versatility is what I keep... It says fertility. I keep thinking versatility, but... Yeah, okay. Even if you weren't watching this reading, you would still start to pick up on, like, there's clearly, like, this energy is going to sniff it out and going to find whatever the issue is. Whatever one person did that was really unscrupulous, this one's going to find it out. The other side, to get even, this one's going to find it out. You will find out what it is. Whether you do something with it or not, I don't know. Whether other people know you know, I don't know that either. That's not really coming forward. So it depends how it comes forward to you, if it's public or not. It might be public. Whether you let people know that you know, whether you do anything with it or not, I'm not really sure. You get a lot of ability to here to negotiate things out. You also get, I keep getting versatility. I know it says fertility, but I keep thinking versatility. Like, there's a lot of different things you could do with this situation. It puts you in the position of power to where these people want to get along with you at this point, and they're more compatible than they have in the past. So it'll switch over to your advantage at the very least. Okay. Is there anything else I need to say with that? This is an interesting one. Aquarians usually are interesting. I mean, that's not really odd. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.